Let us start a new topic, which is characteristic curves of centrifugal pump. This is very important while we are studying a centrifugal pump. Characteristic curves, that means it shows different properties of centrifugal pump and relation between that properties. See, in this graph you can see a relation between the head, pump efficiency, horsepower in relation with capacity. See, in the graph it shows the relation between these properties. You can easily understand from this graph nature that this efficiency, you can see, we start with efficiency, you can see that efficiency is rising like this up to some point and then it will decrease with respect to capacity, right? So you can say that as the capacity increases, the efficiency is increasing up to such point and then it will decrease. Now if I will talk about the head, or which is in the form of height, head curve. Here it returns also head curve in feet for given flow rate. Fine. So the head is like this. See the green line in the graph. It shows the relation of head with capacity. Fine. And this horsepower, that is the power. The power is like this. See, this yellow line, brake horsepower with respect to the capacity. So it changes with capacity like this. It shows the nature like this. So when we combine all these, we got a point which is marked with red. See, is known as best efficiency point. So when we are combining all these parameters with capacity, we got a point which is known as best efficiency point. So this is the best efficiency point. So according to this is the point at which this pump efficiency, head and horsepower with capacity is best, or you can say maximum. So after plotting this, you can reach to a point which is known as best efficiency point, or the flow at which pump operates at the highest or optimum efficiency for a given impeller diameter. So this is the best efficiency point. This best efficiency point is obtained when we are relating all these parameters: efficiency, horsepower, head with capacity. So these are the characteristic curves for centrifugal pump. So this is all about centrifugal pump. We have started with construction and working of centrifugal pump. Then we have seen what is air binding and priming in centrifugal pump. Then we have seen cavitation and net positive suction head of the centrifugal pump, and these are the characteristic curves of centrifugal pump. Now we will shift to the next type of the pump, that is positive displacement pump. And in positive displacement pump there are two types: reciprocating pump and rotary pump. Let us start with the first type of positive displacement pump, which is reciprocating. See this figure of reciprocating pump. First we will see the construction of reciprocating pump. In reciprocating pump, basically this is the cylinder. You can see in the figure, this is the cylinder. In that cylinder there is a piston. See, this lining portion, this is a piston which is connected to a piston rod. This piston rod is connected to crank with the help of connecting rod. I am explaining the construction of reciprocating pump. In this reciprocating pump, the main part is the cylinder. In that cylinder, there is a piston which is connected to piston rod. This piston rod is connected to crank with the help of connecting rod. In addition to this cylinder is connected with the suction pipe and delivery pipe. You can see in the figure, the cylinder is connected to a suction pipe and delivery pipe. And in suction pipe, there is a suction valve, as well as in delivery pipe, there is a valve which is known as delivery valve. Fine, see. This is a delivery valve and this is a suction valve. Remember one thing, this suction valve and delivery valve, both valves are of check valve. We have already seen different types of valve. In that we have seen check valve, which is a non-return valve. This non-return valve provides the unidirectional flow. That means it provides the flow in one direction only. Fine. So this is all about the construction of reciprocating. Now let us see how this reciprocating pump works. At the starting of the reciprocating pump, see, this pump is at its extreme left position. That is, it is inside the cylinder. See, this piston is at its extreme left position. That means it is at its inside the cylinder. Now, this crank rotates from 0 degree to 180 degree. You have to just imagine the situation. This pump is at extreme left position. Now this crank rotates from this 0 degree to this 180 degree. So as the crank rotates, what will happen? The connecting rod lifts the piston out. Clear? So as the connecting rod leaves the piston out from extreme left to extreme right position. So what will happen? There is creation of vacuum inside the cylinder. And due to that vacuum, the suction valve automatically opens. The suction valve automatically opens. As suction valve automatically opens, it sucks the liquid from the sump valve. You can see the sump valve in the figure. See, in the sump valve there is a liquid. As this crank rotates from 0 to 180 degree, it will lift this piston from left to right position. And due to that, it sucks the liquid from the sump. So the cylinder is now full of liquid. Now what will happen? Now this crank rotates from this 180 degree to 360 degree. And as the cylinder is now full of liquid, the suction valve closes itself. Now what will happen? The crank rotates from 180 degree to 360 degree. And at that time, now cylinder is full of liquid, so there is creation of pressure, and due to that pressure, the delivery valve opens. And as delivery valve opens and crank rotates from 180 to 360 degree, what will happen? Now piston tries to move inside the cylinder. And as it moves inside the cylinder, it forces the liquid to out through delivery valve to delivery pipe. So, in this one revolution from 0 to 360 degree, from 0 to 180 degree, there is a suction stroke. It is known as suction stroke, and in suction stroke, the liquid is sucked from the sump to cylinder. And from 180 to 360 degree, there is a delivery stroke. It is known as delivery stroke, and in delivery stroke, the liquid is delivered to delivery pipe through valve. So this way the reciprocating pump works. I think it is clear to all. Now let us see the advantages and disadvantages of reciprocating pump. Advantages of reciprocating pump includes this pump is self-priming. We all know what is priming. This reciprocating pump is self-priming. That is the advantage of this pump. Reciprocating pump can work in wide pressure range. This type of pump can work in wide pressure range. Next is reciprocating pump provide high pressure at the outlet. Next advantage is reciprocating pump efficiency is high compared to centrifugal pump. And the last advantage is it gives continuous rate of discharge. Let us see the disadvantages of reciprocating pump. Reciprocating pump required more maintenance, as it includes more amount of parts, moving parts. So it requires more maintenance compared to centrifugal pump. Next is more part means initial high cost. High initial cost of reciprocating pump is the disadvantage. And last disadvantage is it is difficult to pump with viscous liquid in reciprocating. When we have to deal with the viscous liquid, then it is difficult to deal with reciprocating pump. So this is the first type of the positive displacement pump. Let us see the second type of positive displacement pump, which is rotary pump. See the rotary pump. You can see how it is work. At one end there is a suction line, at another end there is a discharge line. In rotary pump, there is a casing. In that casing, there is a rotor, and on the rotor we have to install the vanes. You can see in the figure. There is a casing, inside casing there is a rotor, and on rotor we have to install the vanes. It is like this. Fine. Now when it is in working condition, what will happen? The rotor rotates at high speed, and on that rotor there is a vanes. So what will happen? As it rotates, it creates high centrifugal force, and due to this high centrifugal force, what will happen? See, you can see in the figure, as centrifugal force is produced, as the liquid enters inside the rotor from the suction line, due to high centrifugal force, you can see green line, green arrow in the figure. The liquid enters from here suction line. Due to this centrifugal force, it forcefully transferred the liquid from the suction to discharge line. And this way the rotary pump works. So when rotor turns, the centrifugal force throws the vanes against the cylindrical wall, and it creates a chamber between the rotor and the cylinder. And as the rotor continues to turn inside this chamber, volume between the blades keep the changing due to the rotor position eccentrical. So this way rotary pump works. Due to centrifugal force, it forces the liquid from the suction line to the discharge line. That green arrow shows the working of the rotary pump. Now let us discuss advantages and disadvantages of rotary pump. Advantages include that rotary pump can deliver liquid to high pressure. That means due to the centrifugal force, the liquid which is out from the discharge line is at high pressure. Again, rotary pump is self-priming. Rotary pump give relatively smooth output compared to centrifugal pump. Again, rotary pump can pump viscous liquid. That is the advantage of the rotary pump. And in rotary pump, there is no backflow. So these are the advantages of rotary pump. Let us see disadvantages of the rotary pump. This rotary pump is more expensive than centrifugal. Another disadvantage is it should not be used for fluids containing suspended solids. If we have to transfer fluid containing suspended solids, then we cannot go for rotary pump. And last disadvantage of the rotary pump is the efficiency of the rotary pump is very low. So these are the advantages and disadvantages of using rotary pump. So in today's session we have covered characteristic curves of the centrifugal pump and positive displacement pump, both the type of positive displacement pump, reciprocating pump and rotary pump along with its advantages and disadvantages. So that's all for today's session. Thank you.